John Garrett in the broadcast booth at the Pacific Coliseum, where the surprising Vancouver Canucks have taken a 4-2 lead on the Calgary Flames coming into the third period.
The Calgary Flames coming into this game ahead 3-2, and it looked like they were dominating, but the Canucks have played well at home. They've been outshot 4 of the 5 games coming into tonight, but they're out shooting the Flames, and especially in the second period, really outplaying the Flames.
Lipinski got a goal for Calgary in the second period. McGinnis had scored a power play goal in the first. But in that second period, Linden and then Sandlack, Sutter, and Butcher in a span of 2:34, and it's 4-2 Vancouver. Canucks shoot it in. Mullen nearly got loose near center ice, with Patterson having to come back. Linden couldn't stop him. We now welcome you viewers all over the United States to this game here in Vancouver, where the Canucks, who finished 43 points behind, here's a shot for the point behind the Flames, are leading 4-2, and we've just started the third period. Flames trying to get the puck out. These are hungry Vancouver Canucks tonight. A win would bring about a 7th game back in Calgary. 4-2 the score. Vancouver on top of the Calgary Flames. Here's Nieuwendyk trying to move in there from the corner. Calgary needs a goal early. McGinnis kicked out by McLean. Vernon is the goaltender for Calgary. Along the boards, Hokenlu for Nieuwendyk coming up to center ice. Got it back in over the line. Roberts going for the net in center. Roberts couldn't make contact. Jumped to the line and cleared to the far side. Sandlak couldn't knock it down at center. Vancouver with 3 goals in the last 2 minutes and 34 seconds of the second period to take a 4-2 lead over the Calgary Flames. Roberts trying to go in. Roberts gets a shot off the glove of McLean. Nieuwendyk keeping it in, and it's left to center ice. A word to you stations down the line that our next commercial break will be number 23. During the 3-minute mark of the third period, and what a big, big game this is. Bridgman trying to come out. Got it up to center ice and dumped it in. Flames trying to organize. That's McCrimmon playing it ahead. Skriko dropped it back. Bradley, number 10 for Vancouver, is stopped there as Sutter sweeping in. Sutter gets a chance. Skriko in front, and he couldn't get the pass over to him. But there's a penalty in behind the play against the Calgary Flames. Tim Hunter gets a penalty here at 2:42 of the third period. What a chance for the Canucks now.
Tim Hunter in behind the play. It's Brian Bradley. There, Ramage hits Bradley, and there's Hunter for no reason whatsoever. And the Flames have been stressing the need for discipline. None shown on that play.
Big power play coming up for Vancouver. Leading 4-2. There it is. And a win tonight for the Canucks will force a 7th game back in Calgary. We're told that Mark Hunter has left the game with an injury. We'll try to give you a report. Vernon gets ready for this face-off. To his right, this crowd really into it here at the Pacific Coliseum. It's a sellout, of course. That number's over 16,000. Nordmark from the blue line. Hands it off near the boards. Minute and a half left in the Calgary penalty. McGinnis slapped at it. It's knocked down at the blue line and kept in. Reinhart takes the pass. And he was knocked to the ice. And there's going to be another penalty as Tandy goes in. The goaltender for Vancouver out of the net. And here's the call. These Flames are digging a hole now.
They weren't really killing penalties well, not letting the Canucks get set up, but they were set up. The Flames got in trouble. Colin Patterson on Paul Reinhart. Reinhart controlling play as he does on every Canuck power play. Patterson hauled him down and takes a holding penalty. Reinhart goes to the boards. Patterson with only one hand on the stick, as we've seen all year, reaches around and takes the holding penalty.
Andy Van Hellemond, the referee, nailing Colin Patterson at 3:27 of this third period. And Vancouver Canucks have a chance now to go up by 3 goals. They're leading 4-2. A minute and 15 seconds left in the Hunter penalty. And now Patterson is in there with them. Linden, Adams, Tandy, Nordmark at the blue line. Reinhart, the other point man, to Nordmark, to Reinhart. Drives it into the center, and it's Tandy. Oh, and Vernon got a piece of it. A great save by Vernon. Reinhart and Nordmark again. To Reinhart. To
reasons you'll want to ride with Uniroyal Laredo. Out here, you never know what you're gonna run into. Uniroyal Laredo, the tire that tamed the Wild West and still the best.
Vancouver leading Calgary 4-3. 14:33 remaining, third period. And the puck stopped at the line, cleared in by Magnus. Snaps picked the opening and flipped it down the ice. No icing. Hit a player at that far blue line. Here's Bridgman picking it up right in front of the net. Tandy, and he couldn't handle the pass. He was alone in front of Mike Vernon. Bozak trying to dig it off the boards and can't do it. McClellan lost it. Bozak failed to get a shot. And it's out into the center ice area. Bozak tipped it up here again. Cowan played it right under the stick of McClellan. He got away from one hit. Goes into the corner for Hunter. Tim Hunter is stopped in there by Lindster. Now it's center. Bridgman was in front of the net and skates away with it. Poked the pass ahead to Sutter. There's Snaps from center ice. Tried a long shot. Deflected off the leg. Just inside the blue line. These two teams putting on a great show tonight as Fleury comes in. Fleury gets set. Oh, and he just missed. But Kremen fired a shot and hit Sutter. Bradley missed it near center ice. Canucks lead by 1 goal. Here's Roberts starting back out. Bradley caught up to him. Hokenlube is coming in there. Passes in front. And the team made a big save there. Striko back down the ice. Shoots it up over the line and Sutter going after it. But Kremen takes him in on the boards. Duendijk is in there also, and they get a whistle. Face off in the Calgary zone.
Picture this. A car that comes specially equipped with features that include 5-speed manual, air conditioning, AM/FM cassette, and savings of up to $1,978. Now isn't that a pretty picture? Escort, the best-selling car in the world.
In this series, there will be a 7th game in Los Angeles with the Kings winning tonight. In Edmonton, 4-1. That series tied. This one over Philadelphia, eliminating Washington 4-3. This series over Chicago, a surprising 7-1 win over Detroit. And here, there's still a giant battle. The Canucks lead Calgary Flames 4-3. 43 points apart in the regular season, and they couldn't be closer here in the best-of-7 playoffs. Lube turning at the blue line, coming up for the Flames. Lube, long shot, McLean kicked it away. Roberts couldn't knock it down. Smeel coming back out through the middle is Smith. Up on the play, Bridgman Smith. The backhander deflected right in front again. And Smeel came close. Lindster now, that shot missing. Bridgman is after it, snaps at the blue line, fires. It's deflected right into the goal crease. And McCrimmon covers up for the goaltender, who's down, Mike Vernon.
Stan Smeel, that rebound off the boards. Garth Butcher got his first goal of the year. Harold Snaps trying for his first from the point. Off the boards. Smeel just failed to make contact right in front of Mike Vernon. There's the shot off the boards. Smeel tips it, and Vernon's right there and covers up.
Mark Hunter of the Calgary Flames has been taken to hospital. He was hurt earlier tonight. We do not have a report yet. He has gone to hospital, though, for examination. We'll try to keep you posted. 4-3, Vancouver. They scored in a flurry at the end of the second period to take the lead. Popinski's pass at the blue line. Upended near center ice was level, and there's going to be a penalty to the Vancouver Canucks. Big power play coming up for Calgary.
Шум. Ну почему столько шум? Эй, мужик!
Not very long ago, the Soviet Union got its first taste of Pepsi. And while it may be just a coincidence,
Посмотри на себя. Почему ты так одет?
a lot of refreshing changes have been taking place ever since.
Вот эти.
Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
Юрочка, не бери в голову.
Otto loses the puck in his feet. Linden goes fishing for it with his stick. But that's a tripping penalty called by referee Andy Van Helden.
And a big penalty coming here with 12:03 left in the third period. The Flames have a chance now to tie it. Otto, Gilmore, Mullen, McGinnis, and Fleury. McGinnis is back. Sutter and
Phil McGuire is gonna go first.
Molly Hagan says there's ghosts.
Don't be crazy. I'll check it out.
Esso knows it's a big decision to go first.
I'll go first. I'm not afraid.
The unknown can be a place filled with adventure. Still, you walk into it for the challenge of being the one who says, I'll go first.
Hey, come on, Goldie.
First period, McGinnis on a power play from Otto at 15:50. Linden on a beautiful effort at 2:32 tied the game. Poplinski 9:29. Then Sandlak tied it again. 17:26. Sutter and Butcher at 19:29 and 19:44. It was 4-2. And then Lube, a shorthanded goal at 5:16. And the Flames are within one. 6:25 remaining, third period. What a hockey game tonight. Game 6 of the best of 7. Calgary can eliminate Vancouver, but they have to beat it tonight to do it. Making a shot. If not tonight, there'll be a 7th game back in Calgary on Saturday. Fleury takes the pass at the blue line, and Linden nailed him. He hit him hard. 6'4" Linden. Hitting 5'6" Fleury. Here's Sneal to center with the shot in. He was bumped as he did by McGinnis. 5:50 left in the third period. Through the middle, Nieuwendyk falls, dropped it back though. The Collins shot is off the leg. Bradley knocked it away. He's got a breakaway. Bradley going in. Score! The thunderous noise again in Vancouver as Bradley scores.
Brian Bradley chips it by, and away he goes. He's on the breakaway. Got it by Ramage. Fakes the shot, freezes Mike Vernon, and then goes to the backhand. He fakes the wrist shot right there. Fakes the shot, freezes Vernon, goes to the backhand, and has no problem. Vernon has to close the legs when they fake the wrist shot, and then Bradley just pulled it by him.
14:23, the time of the goal by this man, Brian Bradley. His third goal of the playoffs. And the surprising Vancouver Canucks are leading by 2 again. It is deafening here in the Coliseum. Napris moving up, trying to get that one back. Lane covered up as it came off the boards. They fight for it behind the net, and Bradley takes it. Dumped it through the middle. McCown ripped it back in for Calgary. That's Butcher trying to play it up the center. Mullins slapped it in. Play call. It was a hand pass. Bradley's goal, giving the Canucks a 5-3 lead.
Some people claim getting there is half the fun. Maybe. Depends on where you're going and who's gonna be there. 'Cause it could be a room full of friends and a tub full of Coors. That's easy going Coors. Cold gold. Smooth as gold, cold as the ice it's chilling in. So remember, keep the wind at your back, your friends at your side, and the Coors Ice Cold.
Bradley scoring from Skriko and Butcher. Here in the third period. The 5th goal for the Canucks. The Flames have 3 of them. Lube at center ice. Turning back. Stick handles away from Sandlak. Goes in. Has a chance here. Takes the shot blocked by Nordberg. Flames go in there now. Apply pressure. Another shot to
is a research laboratory. It tries and fails to make Castrol motor oil break down. It's the place where Castrol is torture tested to meet the requirements of those who punish motor oil the most. You. The everyday Canadian driver. Castrol XLR, the oil engineered for today's cars.
A note to viewers in Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, and BC. Please stay tuned to most of these CBC stations for the National and Journal immediately following this game. We're 3:58 to the end of regulation time as a weary Harold Snips gets to the bench.
Mullen on his backhand sees McLean waits off the side of the net. And Gilmore can't get to it as Snips falls down. Coming back, Harold Snips has logged an awful lot of ice time tonight. He must be tired.
Canucks 5, Calgary Flames 3. 3:58 left in the third. Canucks trying to stay alive and force the seventh game for Saturday back in the Olympic Saddle Dome in Calgary. Flames coming here tonight, wanting to win the series. They're in a little bit of a hole now. Here they come, trying to dig their way out of that hole, shooting it in. McLean fired at it. Fleury missed it. 3 Canucks come out. They're up by 2 and going for more. Smith is nailed trying to get a shot. 3 Flames skate down the other way, led by Fleury. He's in over the line with a shot from a sharp angle. Another shot kicked away in front of McLean. Here's another drive. McLean got his glove up on it. Flames come close and apply the heat. It's centered again. McLean stopped it, and he hangs on to it as they rock away at it. Kurt McLean holds them off. Three minutes and 6 seconds left in regulation time.
Our engineers were wondering how many limousines would fit inside our very spacious Festiva. After a valiant effort, they found the answer. The very spacious Festiva. At Ford and Mercury dealers.
This is great hockey, and we're glad you're with us, wherever you are tonight. Thanks for joining us. Vancouver Canucks at Calgary Flames. If this 2-goal lead stands up Saturday, and you get double-barreled action again on Molson, CBC, Hockey Night in Canada, Edmonton, and LA in a 7.
Roy Mullen out in front. Kurt McLean makes the save, then covers up, and there's the scrum. McLean takes a swing at Fleury. Reinhardt's already hurt. He's been hit in the side of the head with a stick. Went down, came to the bench, seems to be all right now.
And by the looks of things, Molson Hockey Night in Canada with another full night of hockey for you Saturday on the full CBC network. Here's making a shot. Kicked away. Smeal rolled it to center. Adams is up over the line and shooting it in behind the net. 2:55 remaining in the third period. Mullen trying to start a play for Nieuwendyk. Mullen again. Forced back by Smeal. To McCrimmon. Up to Mullen. He can't handle that pass. That's down the ice. Going to be icing. Lindster back. Icing called against the Calgary Flames. 2 minutes and 37 seconds remaining in the third period. It's 5-3 for Vancouver. This program is copyrighted and is strictly for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, distribution, or exhibition in whole or in part without the express written consent of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation is strictly prohibited.
Fans here entering their chant with 2:37 left. They might be a little premature. Jim Benning did a good job interfering with Joey Mullen, protecting his partner. Mullen didn't like it, and they did have a scrum.
At the end of the second, remember, Vancouver scored 3 times within 2 minutes and 34 seconds. 2 minutes and 37 seconds remain in the third period now. So these Flames are never done. Doug Risebrough, Terry Crisp, the head coach. Sandlak, Smeal rather with Linden. Linden going in after it. Can't do it. Smeal picked it up. Smeal in front of Adams. And he's stopped. The Flames burst out of the zone. At the center is Otto shooting it in. It went too high. And over the glass. A tough break for Otto and the Calgary Flames. And a good break for Vancouver. It comes out over the line. 2:22 left.
Jim Benning seeing some action. Came over from Toronto. Otto tried to fire it in. Everybody was up, charging the play. But as you said, Bob, just hit the top of the glass. Flames trying to get some pressure on the Vancouver Canucks, who again have frustrated the Calgary Flames.
Linden, Greg Adams and Smeal. Gilmore for Calgary with Mullen, McGinnis, Lube, and McCown. Oakenloo bringing it across center. He's carrying the puck well. Gets it into Gilmore. Takes the shot. It's loose in front. Gilmore again centered it. McCown reaching for it. There goes Mullen. He can't find it. Lube does. Gilmore hands it off. Canucks trying to hang on. And it's Adams dumping it up down the ice. Vernon coming out of the net. Playing it ahead with 1:50 remaining. Gilmore going in. The Flames are down 2 goals. Vernon is still in the net. It's centered. And the Canucks are going to get it out of the zone. Up the center is Bridgman. 3-on-1. Bridgman. And he put it right onto McGinnis' stick, who is coming back. Minute and a half left in this third period. McGinnis takes it at center. Trying to go across the center ice red line to shoot it in, and Cook was forced back. Now he flips it from his own side. Up center, but got it on the net. McCrimmon messed it up the blue line. Fleury going after it. Into the corner. Fleury trying to get it out front. McLean stopped it. Fleury again. Can't center it. He's tied up. Now he's on it. Shoots. What an effort by Fleury, but it's not in. Another shot is bucket, but Vernon is on the bench. Flames with the extra man into the final minute. Canucks can't get Fleury. Can't get it out. Shot. Knocked down. And finally, empty net. Score. That will do it. He took a chance shooting it from his own side of center ice, but he nailed it right in the net. 6-3, Game 7, back in Calgary.
Rich Summer, the long-range bomber, lets it go right through Brad McCrimmon's leg. All the way down. It looked like Ron Hextall's shot right in the middle of the net.
Who would have thought the Vancouver Canucks would go 7 games with the Calgary Flames? And now Bob McCann and his troops know that they could go all the way in this series.
Nice Vernon back at the net. 1 game. That's what the Canucks just kept playing it game by game. They were so loose all the way along through this series. Now they get down to, if your goalie gets hot or the other goalie's not so good, you get a couple of bounces. Who knows?
7th game in Los Angeles between the Oilers and the Kings on Saturday. 7th game in this one between the Canucks and the Calgary Flames on Saturday in Calgary. Molson Hockey Night in Canada with both for you on the full CBC network. So it's some kind of playoff. 34 seconds remaining in the third period. And the Vancouver Canucks astounding the Calgary Flames. 43 points do not mean a thing. These are the playoffs. 10 seconds left. It's a brand new season, as they say. The Canucks win this one. Lobbing at the center. This game is over.
Kurt McLean, after he let in that soft goal from Hoken Lou, settled down and played a strong game at the finish. Here we have a little after the whistle. Now we got full teams, all of them on the ice. What's going to happen here?
This is something that both coaches, and I'm sure the officials, do not want to see. Game over. Players from both teams on the ice. But Andy Van Helmond and the two linesmen, Finn and DePuzzo, are doing a great job to settle him down. Because this crowd is really roaring now, applauding the Canucks by virtue of their 6-3 win tonight. This series goes 7 back to Calgary. 6-3, your final score, series tied 3-3. In just a moment, our most 3-star selection.
I can still tell you the page number in that Canadian Tire catalog. You know, I lived and breathed that bike, but I just couldn't ask Dad for it.
Hey, boy, I got a couple new tires you can help me unload.
Boy, what I'd give to have seen my face that day.
Say, hello, excuse me. You look like a Lotto 636 and 649 player. Then you play the Plus. Well, you should. The Plus gives you more ways to win. And that means cash. And that turns into anything you want. Ah, I see you already have a few things in mind. So what will you do when you play your favorite Lotto game? That's right. Say yes to the Plus.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are tonight's 3 stars as chosen by Hockey Night in Canada. Tonight's first star from the Vancouver Canucks, number 5, Garth Butcher. Tonight's second star, also from the Vancouver Canucks, number 16, Trevor Linden. Tonight's third star from the Calgary Flames, number 30, Mike Vernon. Ladies and gentlemen, on your way home tonight, be sure to catch the Overtime Show on CK.
The 3 stars of tonight's hockey game here in Vancouver, Butcher, Linden, and Vernon. I don't know whether you could have picked the coach, Bob McCammon, as one of the stars, but Bob, that must have been a heck of a joke before the game. We should point out to our national audience that before each game in the playoffs, each of the coaches has been telling a joke, and it seems to have worked tonight.
Well, the joke was great tonight, and the game was great, but Game 7 is going to be a tough game. Calgary are good in their own building. They only lost 6 games all year, 1 in the playoffs. But as we've gone on in this series and won games against them, you can see the confidence level come up. So we look for big things in Game 7, and if we get goaltending and we score that first goal in their building and quiet the crowd, who knows?
You came into the studio and you took a big sigh of relief. Was there a doubt in your mind late in the third in this one?
Well, when it was 4-3, I was sure worried. Bradley's goal was a big goal because Calgary have tremendous offense, you know, and they were double shifting Lube and Mullen. They got a lot of chances, too many chances for a coach to be happy with in the third period. But you have to understand that we have to work so hard to score that sometimes we have these little lapses.
And this was a club that they said couldn't score goals.
Well, we can. I think, we didn't score all year. We're the lowest scoring team in the league, but it seems we score when we have to score. We've got timely goals all year. We've got important goals, and I look for, as I say, in Game 7, I think we're going to score some more goals.
You broke the Flames back with 3 goals in 2 minutes and 18 seconds, 2 goals in the final minute of the second period, 15 seconds apart.
Yeah, that was probably the killer for them. It's tough to come back on the road when they get 2 goals scored in the last minute. And that doesn't happen to their hockey team. I bet it hasn't happened to them twice all year. So that would put them in a little panic. But in the third period, Calgary played very strong. And I thought, as it wasn't for the play of our defense and goaltender Kirk McLean, they could have been right back in it.
Take us ahead to Game 7 Saturday night. Quick comment.
Well, the start is very important, the first 5 minutes. As they say, we have to take their crowd away somehow. And I know Calgary are excited. They think this is their year for the Cup. We have other ideas, so it's going to be a great game.
Okay, thank you very much, Bob McCammon, the coach of the Vancouver Canucks. The 3 stars, once again, Garth Butcher and Trevor Linden of the Vancouver Canucks, Mike Vernon of the Calgary Flames. The final score, once again, here in Vancouver tonight, a big win for the Vancouver Canucks, 6-3 over the Calgary Flames to tie the series at 3. We'll return with more after this.
Frank Schneider thought he'd have to go all over town to find a muffler shop with the know-how to get his pickup in and out fast. His search ended at Midas when he talked to Peter. What Peter knows about exhaust systems could fill a book, which is why we guarantee his Midas muffler for as long as Frank owns his pickup. Nobody tops Midas when it comes to exhaust work. Hey, Midas invented this business over 30 years ago. Nobody tops the top guns. Nobody.
Market fresh, crisp produce, our best to you. It's good to know we make it easy, working hard for you. Together, lending you a helping hand. Together, we do it like no one can. We bring it all together at Safeway.
Play Scrabble at McDonald's, the big money game with prizes, prizes, prizes. There are $75 million in cash and prizes, so you can win hot chicken McNuggets, a cool $1 million. Or spell the right word and you could win a $1,000 shopping spree at Sears. How are you going to get all that stuff home? Oh, I see. Play Scrabble at McDonald's. In a word, you can win.
Folks need a little help?
And how will you be paying for that?
American Express.
If you stop by our Minneapolis office tomorrow, you can pick up a new card.
I'm having some trouble checking into this hotel.
I can take care of it. Let me just talk to the hotel manager.
Thank you.
Okay.
A friendly voice in the middle of the night. Membership has its privileges.
The experts said the Vancouver Canucks would be lucky to win a game against the Calgary Flames. They have stunned those experts by winning 3. The series is now even at 3, and with me is the game's first star from the Vancouver Canucks, Garth Butcher. They say that timing is everything in sport. Your timing is absolutely exquisite. Your first goal of the 88-89 season tonight.
Yeah, it definitely took a while coming. I tried everything all year long. Today I finally decided to bring my son down to the rink, and I guess he's my good luck charm.
Only one player in the Vancouver lineup has yet to score a goal, and that's Harold Sneps. You beat him to the punch.
Yeah, Harry and I had a little competition going. I won't say how much money we had on it, but it was great. I'm just happy with the time it came, and hopefully we'll get a game in Calgary.
Must have been an exciting moment for you.
Yeah, the puck came back to me. I saw Poplinski coming, and I put it by him and at the net, and I was fortunate. Mel Bridgman was going to the net, doing a good job, and caused a screen for it.
Garth, I suppose you're going to tell me you picked that corner.
Actually, I was going to the top corner on that one. I'll take it wherever it went.
You got to get him up a bit.
Yeah, I was going for the 6x4, and that's where it went, luckily.
What happened in the dying moments of that period? I mean, you just seemed to catch him off balance, and you came on so strong.
I think it was a matter of our forwards. They're doing a great job forward-checking, maybe the best they've done all year. When we scored and there was 30 seconds left, I went and dumped the puck in just to keep it deep in their end and preserve the lead we had. And our forwards went in and got it again, and the puck came out to me, and fortunately went in the net again.
This has got to do wonders for the team's collective confidence.
Yeah, it's been great. We've been prepared great for the games. As everyone knows, the coach has been keeping us loose, and I don't think they could have done a much better job in what they've done. The pressure's been off us the whole series, and we've just come out and had fun and played hockey.
Garth, congratulations on a great win here in Vancouver tonight. Garth Butcher, the Vancouver Canucks, the game's first star. Now let's go to Chris Cuthbert in Edmonton with a report on tonight's game between the Oilers and the Kings.
Steve, after losing game number 4 of this series, the Los Angeles Kings were faced with the prospects of winning 3 consecutive games against the Edmonton Oilers. Well, they're 2/3 of the way there after winning 4-1 here in Game 6 tonight at the Northlands Coliseum. It looked like the Oilers would take early command of the game, scoring in the first minute, but the Kings came back to tie it and skated away in the third to force a 7th game, which has to be considered the most important in Los Angeles Kings team history and has all the elements of a Stanley Cup final. With a review of the goals in tonight's game, let's join Ron McLean.
Thank you, Chris. You're right. It was a big victory for the LA Kings. It did not appear at the outset that Los Angeles was going to have a good night here at Northlands Coliseum. 33 seconds into the game, the Oilers got a lead, and the fans here seemed to be happy about what was going on. It wouldn't last, but let's show you the highlights nonetheless. Goals 1 through 5. First, it's Randy Gregg from the blue line, 33 seconds in from Anderson and Messier. That gave the Oilers a lead, 1-0 at the end of 1, and they'd only lost 1 of 21 all year when leading after 20 minutes. In the second period, the only goal was a gritty effort by Mike Allison. Casper and Kennedy drew assists on the goal at 16:22, 1-1 at the end of 2 periods of play. Jim Weimer went over to Los Angeles from Edmonton. He's only scored 1 other goal this year. It was a game winner, ironically, against the Oilers, and tonight his goal early in the third period at 4:14 proved to be the difference. His first goal, of course, of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Taylor and Laidlaw had the assists. It was 2-1 Los Angeles. Then Chris Kontos establishes a club record for goals in a series. This was his 7th, eclipsing the mark set by Marcel Dion. Gretzky with a nice speed to Kontos. McSorley also drew an assist. 7th goal of the playoffs for a player who played all year in Switzerland. 3-1 LA, and they round out the scoring on the second goal of the Stanley Cup playoffs for Luc Robitaille. Nichols and DeGray drew assists on this goal for Robitaille at 12:13 of the third period. 4-1, the final. The Los Angeles Kings defeat the Edmonton Oilers at the Coliseum, and it is now going to a 7th game in LA. Here is a glimpse of the series. Game 1 went to the Oilers 4-3, 5-2 LA to tie it. Then Edmonton won twice on home ice, games 3 and 4 by scores of 4-0 and 4-3. Los Angeles then wins 2 to tie the affair, 4-2 and 4-1. These 2 teams were 2 of the top 4 in scoring in the NHL, and as you can see, the scoring really hasn't been all that high throughout the series. Don, you said going into the game that if Edmonton lost tonight, they'd be in real trouble going back to L.A. How do you feel now?
Well, definitely they're in real trouble, but don't forget they're the Oilers. They're the champions. Say they're somehow gets them revved up somehow when their backs are against the wall. And don't forget, I think their best game of all was in L.A. But tonight, L.A. wanted the game more. That was the whole thing. They were more hungry. They were sticking their head in the way of the puck, trying to block. It looked like Tikkanen and Curry and Anderson looked like they were going to take the night off. If it hadn't have been for Fuhrer, it would have been a bigger score. And give all credit to L.A. Like I said, they were hungry, and it looks like they want the series more for some reason.
How do you assess Wayne Gretzky's performance in the first 6 games?
Well, I think he's been great. I'm not saying he's out of this world or anything, but look at the nice play he made to Kontos. He's on the ice all the time. He's killing penalties. I think he's rallying the guys. But I'm going to tell one guy that's been in the league's last 2 games is Tonelli. To me, Tonelli is the key that turned this team around. He looks like a ghost. I saw him before the game. I'm telling you, he's had to lose 15 pounds, but he's there. He's in the dressing room. He's put fire in the whole thing, and I'd say he's turned this team around.
Bruce McNull spent a lot of money to build this contender in Los Angeles. The word was they were on the brinks of elimination. Kelly Rudy is one of the guys he went after, and he really performed tonight. And there was a lot of pressure on Rudy because the papers, the press was all over him concerning the fact that he had to try and match up to the expectations of Grant Fuhrer.
Well, I've watched him all year in the island, and he's been absolutely great. And as Harry Neal said earlier, he said he looks cocky out there. He wants them to shoot the puck on him. Come on, get the puck on me. That's what I want. And that's what you got to have in a goaltender. And he's playing like he did in the island, and he's a great goaltender. Make no mistake about it. I remember one game. Remember I talked about him earlier in the season, that he'd found out that morning that their Islanders were going to go with the kids. And he said, I'm winning this game by myself. I think he had 45 shots on it against New Jersey. He's a guy that never quits. And that's when you see that, like he thought he was going nowhere for the rest of the season. He's got heart, and somebody picked him third star. As far as I'm concerned, he was the #1 star.
Who will win, briefly?
Who will win? I just got through saying, if you go back to there, they're going to have a hard time. And if I was betting L.A. is going to win in L.A.
We'll find out Saturday night, Game 7 between the Edmonton Oilers and the Los Angeles Kings. Steve?
Thank you, Ron. And we're going to have Game 7 in this half of the Smythe Division semifinal between the Flames and the Canucks. With me now, the head coach of the Calgary Flames, Terry Crisp. Terry, you made the comment when you came in. Great game for the fans, great series for the fans. Tough on coaches.
Tough on coaches also. I'll tell you, these are games you don't want to do. You don't want to go into a 7th game. You don't have to. Vancouver didn't cooperate. They played a whale of a game. And it just tells you what 31 seconds will do in a hockey game, whether it's the first of a period, the end of a period, or the middle of a period, and that sure put them on a roll.
That was a letdown in that period.
Our fault, our own fault. Nobody blamed but ourselves. And again, there's no sense us feeling sorry for ourselves. I can guarantee you, nobody else out there does. So we got a job to do. We're going home to do it. Get it done.
Okay, let's kick aside Game 6 and let's talk about Game 7. What do the Flames have to do?
Well, again, Game 7 is throw the X and O's out the windows. Forget about them. Now it comes from the heart. Now it comes from the guys, the two teams that put on the jerseys. Who wants it the most? Who's the hungriest? So if you take everything equal and your talent, the hungriest team, and believe me, after the showing we put on tonight, we should be hungry.
So much talk about discipline on the part of the Flames. I thought they showed a lot of discipline in Game 6.
We're trying to. Like I said, it's tough out there. It's easy for people to say, and the media say discipline. Listen, these guys, it's their livelihood. It's their paycheck. It's for their families. And when you're hot and heavy and going, and the action's out there, it's easy for us to keep saying it. It's a little tougher, but again, they're pros. They're paid to do it. We're getting the message. We'll be there in the 7th game.
Terry, in all honesty, did you expect this kind of series in Vancouver?
We did, because we played them 8 times this year. We played them nip and tuck all 8 games, so we weren't fooling ourselves in so much of what we were into. The media played it out 4, 5, etc. We can't listen to the media. We knew what we had to do. We know what type of a team they are, what McCammon and his coaches have them doing. They're playing very patient. They're tenacious, and we fully expected that.
Terry, good luck to the Flames in Game 7.
Hey, from a coach, you can always use a whole bucket full of that. Thank you.
Terry Crisp, the head coach of the Calgary Flames. Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC returns in just a moment.
Meet the Dream Team.
Tell me this is a bad dream.
They're committed to truth.
We're a special combat unit with the United States Marine Corps. We've been tracking some Libyan terrorists.
Give me a break. Justice.
So we came to town to see a ball game. Now they want to give us the chair.
And a New Jersey mental institution.
All right, we're 4 escaped lunatics.
This I believe.
Michael Keaton.
It's great to be young and insane.
Christopher Lloyd. The Dream Team.
Now playing at a theater near you.
Welcome back to the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver, where the Vancouver Canucks defeated the Flames 6-3 to even the series at 3. Now let's get a comment from our 2 play-by-play gentlemen.
Well, John, with 2:34 left of the second period, I think that was the turning point in this game. Let's forget about this, as Terry Crisp has just said. Game 6 is history. What about Game 7 back in Calgary?
The pressure is really on the Calgary Flames. The Vancouver Canucks came into this series. Nobody thought they'd win 1 game, let alone 3. They can go in loose. The Calgary Flames have to win. They've responded before. They finished in first place. See if they can come one more time.
Nothing better than a 7th game in a Stanley Cup playoff series. We've got it in Calgary on Saturday. Steve?
And as I've said before, Bob, who would have thought that the Vancouver Canucks, who finished 43 points behind the Calgary Flames over the course of the regular season, could even stay in a series with the Calgary Flames? The final score, once again, was Vancouver 6, Calgary 3 to even the series at 3. And as I said, who would have thought that Vancouver would have a 7th game? And there you see it, 6 o'clock Mountain Daylight Time, and we will have it for you live on Molson Hockey Night in Canada on Saturday night. Game 7, Vancouver against Calgary. And of course, we'll also have Game 7, Edmonton against the LA Kings. Check the local listings for the game and time in your area. Good night from Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC. Brought to you by Molson Canadian, what beer's all about. By Ford of Canada, where quality is more than a commitment, quality is job one. By Pepsi, the choice of a new generation. By Esso retailers and agents across Canada.
The head of TV Network Sports is Arthur Smith. The executive producer of Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC is Ron Harrison. Tonight's show was produced by Jim Marshall, directed by Garth Fowler. Our isolation director was Ron Forsythe. And thanks to the rest of the people whose names you see for making this telecast possible.
This has been a CBC Sports presentation in association with Molstar Communications.